Hello, friends. Welcome to the show HR by Nature, where we talk to people and take their opinion mostly on the HR angle. Corona has been declared as pandemic. In the layman language, we can also call it a disaster. So today, our guest is very interesting. Our guest is Mr. Nitin Verma, who is a disaster management specialist with expertise in post-disaster rehabilitation. He is also an entrepreneur who runs a engineering firm, Aadhar Consultancy and Infrastructure, that specializes in seismic retrofitting. Hello, Mr. Nitin. Welcome to the show.
Hi, hi, Mayank. How are you? Thanks for calling me.
Most
Yeah,
welcome, Nitin. Pleasure is all
please.
mine.
Sure.
Right.
It's mutual. It's mutual. Yeah,
Nitin. So
yeah,
let's start. It's been more than
yeah,
8 weeks of the lockdown.
yeah.
Everything is, we're not allowed to go out. How are you dealing with it on the personal level?
Well, it's a difficult time for everyone, and I think it has overwhelmed everyone with this kind of scale and the damage it is doing, and it's still not under control. And obviously, media, I think, uh, just too much to handle at the moment.
Right.
Uh, was supposed to be a something which probably could have been handled over a period of time but controlled with the knowledge, not much knowledge available, but at the same time, yes, there was possibilities that things could have been dealt much more maturely, I guess, at some point of time. But now the lockdown is continuing. I think it's again being addressed today. Modi, our Prime Minister Modi, is addressing the nation again today in the evening once again. I don't know what's coming up next. Onto the thing. Let's wait.
Right.
Yeah.
So let's understand that how have your routine changed? Your daily routine, your family routine, how has your family reacted?
Oh, sorry, I lost your voice in between.
I'm saying that how has your family reacted? They may have seen you for the first time for such a long period at home.
Yeah. The first time, I mean, maybe in years or maybe in decades, I guess. I mean, I don't remember I was at home for such a long period anytime.
Right.
It's been a good family time. I mean, everything is shut. We are closed. We are not working. The team is at home. So it's all family time at this moment. Kitchen, household chores, and things doing together. I mean, doing some community work somewhere here and there, but mostly it's about family time at this moment.
That,
Yeah.
that's lovely. We all wanted some family time, and this is the way we have got it. Kind of blessing in disguise.
Yeah. Sort of a break. Long break. Probably not so, desired or whatever, not, but it's been a long break now.
Right.
Yeah.
God has his own way.
Yeah.
Right. So coming to the next question, Mr. Nathan, uh,
Mm.
how are you engaging your team members in this? You must have got a wonderful team who's working in this disaster management and of course your entrepreneurship. So
Yeah.
how are you engaging your team members?
Well, we are a small firm. We are a small engineering firm. We are some 27, 28 odd people. And at the moment, since everything is in a shutdown and a lockdown, not in a lockdown, but more of a shutdown mode. So what we decided as a company and as a team all together was to take a break all throughout, switch off everything, take a break, enjoy family time, go back to the roots, go back to the family, go back to your kids, go back to our friends, spend some time without pressure, enjoy this thing. Because it's sort of a period which probably we don't get, at least. I mean, ours is a very, very pressure job. The people who call us for a job are the people who are already stuck up with these structures which are failing even after best of the people have helped them. So we live in pressure life. So this time is a very welcome break, and all of us are enjoying it that way.
Right,
Yeah.
right. That's great. That's great. That is also a beautiful thing that you have given a break to all your team members. They
Yes, of
must be,
course.
but I'm sure that you will be connecting with them on regular basis because that is also important.
Yes, of course. Our connect in this at this moment of time is not about work. It's more about family. It's more about well-being. It's more about being safe. I mean, it's getting to know what's happening all around us, keeping us informed, I mean, this is a scenario where probably we as a disaster management team are not useful. I mean, medical and biomedical, and that's not our forte. We are structural engineers. We are engineers. We are architects. We deal with structural problems. Had it been a tsunami or an earthquake or a flood, or probably we would have been in action. We would have been in the first front row of action. At this moment, we are taking a seat back and enjoying and learning from the people who are there fighting for us.
So let me tell you that we consider you as an insurance, though we buy insurance, but we do not want that to be used. In the
Exactly.
same way, for that disaster management team, we do not want that to come into the picture because we do not want disaster, but then we cannot help it. That's what's resolved.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Yeah.
so moving forward, just want to understand that what are your expectations from the government of India? How do you think that industry should behave post lockdown?
Well, I mean, you are right, Mank. It's an extraordinary situation. I mean, the industry that we belong to is construction industry, and construction industry as a whole, and not only the construction industry, the other part of the industries as well. I mean, many other industries are, including aviation, hoteling, the tourism, or even auto sector, or even real estate, or whatever it is. These are under stress, and these are under stress and considerable amount of stress.
Right.
Construction industry, to my understanding, is more of a service industry to the many other industries. So if the mother industries or the basic industries are under stress, the construction obviously is out to feel that stress always. Post lockdown will be an interesting situation. uh, Obviously there would be work, there would be thing, but there will be, the biggest problem is the migrant distress which is happening at this moment. So that fatigue and that migrant labor, which is so important to the industry, will
Right.
cause good amount of anxiety among the industry people at this moment. That is one part. The other is, of course, the finance and the losses and the salaries. I mean, obviously, I mean, we have been asked to pay salaries to the people, and there's no money available at the same time. So banking
Right.
sector is under stress. I mean, banking sector on their part are doing their job by offering loans and whatever. But yes, obviously they are also under this dilemma of giving loans to, or converting, I mean, distributing loans at this moment and then counting their NPS a year later. So they are looking at the guarantees and the kind of things at the same point. So it's an extraordinary situation. It's an extraordinary situation in the sense that something needs to be done, and or rather a lot needs to be done, but there are very few starting points which probably can be taken and catered to be at this moment. So it is going to be slightly difficult. Economy, I mean, it will take some doing to get the economy back on the track. It will certainly take some doing.
Right. Of course. As of now, things have come to a stagnant. So I think it is definitely going to go a little
Yeah.
far from here.
Yeah.
Right. So, as a disaster management person, so this is my last question, Nitin. Well, as a disaster management person, do you have any tips or any message to give to the Indian citizens or to the people?
Yeah, man. Yes, I will certainly say this. I mean, yeah, in a disaster, I mean, primarily my background is disasters. I started my career in 1999 from the super cyclone in Odisha, and I saw 10,000 deaths in in a matter of a week or 10 days. And I mean, it was something, a mind-boggling figure at that moment for me. I mean, at a young age of 21, 22, I mean, I couldn't cope with those kind of figures. Soon after, in 2001, Bhuj earthquake happened. Same kind of figures were again published in the newspapers, and we also saw that. I mean, we went from, I was working at the east coast at that time in the Odisha, and then was transferred to the west coast immediately of India. After Bhuj happened, I think it was second day of happening of the earthquake, or probably the third day, when I was standing right in the middle of the Bhuj as a young boy. I mean, it was a huge experience at that moment. I mean, coming back to the present context, coming from that context where you see things happening around you, you know what you are fighting for, you know what you need to work. Food is something which needs to be taken up immediately, but then the moment the need for the food settles, the next demand is the shelter. I mean, where do I live? Where do I spend my night? Where does my wife go? Where are the toilets for the ladies to take care of? I mean, it's those kind of things. I mean, these are the questions you answer because you see them. Current scenario is something where you don't see your enemy. I mean, I could be a carrier, you could be a carrier. I mean, now that, I mean, all we read is a virus which is mutating. So there are carriers and there are I mean, affected people. There are people who are asymptomatic. So I mean, if they are asymptomatic, then what does that mean? Does they do a, they don't, the virus has not affected them in terms of a disease, and in terms of what is happening to their body, or they are just the carriers of the virus, distributing it from one end to the other end, kind of things. So these are the things which are very, very, I mean, at least these, I mean, not seeing my enemy is probably my worst nightmare. And my message at this moment is very simple. One has to stay back, stay safe, stay fit to fight another day tomorrow. And that's what we
Right.
need, all we need to do. We have to save ourselves first to fight another day. If we are not saving ourselves, if we are feeling just because we can't see our enemy, the enemy does not exist, I think we are fooling ourselves. So it's a very
That's
difficult
correct.
time. It's a very difficult time.
It
Yeah.
is. It is. It certainly is. Well,
Mhm.
thank you so much, Nitin, for such an insightful interview. I'm sure that this interview, your message will go well with the people, and they will adhere to that.
Please, thank you, and Mayank, I'm really thankful for this interview. I think you are doing a wonderful job. I've been seeing your interviews to the people. I've seen with the one with this gentleman with the HDFC Ergo HR head, Mr. Achar, I guess,
Yes, Dr.
and
Achar.
Dr. Achar, and one more with this gentleman, this lady, this homemaker, this lady. I mean, who
Yes,
was a homemaker.
Mrs. Sunita Gangwani.
Exactly, exactly. Wonderful, wonderful interviews. Enjoy your time, Mank. Enjoy your time.
Thank you so much, Nitin. Thank you so much, friends, for watching us. I'll be back with some other personality. Till then, namaste.
Namaskar. Thank you.